Now playing on ColecoVision. Donkey Kong, the all-time classic arcade game, keeps getting better. It comes as a bonus with ColecoVision. Donkey Kong Jr., the award-winning superstar video game of the year on ColecoVision. Saxon, the supreme three-dimensional deep space arcade adventure against an arsenal of enemies on ColecoVision. And get a $50 vacation certificate free with the purchase of any 2 Coleco video game cartridges. The classic arcade hits are now playing on ColecoVision. The best game in town keeps getting better.
Je te cherche partout, parce que tu es gentil, gentil. Tu me rends si fou, parce que tu es gentil, gentil.
The best way to find a man is not to look for him. Wear Gentil, the beautiful fragrance. Gentil from Revlon.
No little cinnamon gum freshens breath longer than Big Red.
So kiss a little longer, stay close a little longer, harmonize a little longer. Longer with Big Red. That Big Red freshness slides right through it. Your fresh breath goes on and on. While you chew it, say goodbye a little longer. Make it last a little longer. Give your breath long-lasting freshness with Big Red.
Why the long face?
Mommy's mad.
How come?
Because I didn't brush my teeth yet.
And why is she mad at that?
Because.
Because she only wants what's good for you. Come on. Now see this? Advanced Formula Crest gives even more protection than the Crest we grew up on.
So,
Mommy knows you could get even fewer cavities than we did. Wasn't she a meanie?
yes.
With Crest, your kids could have even fewer cavities than you did.
Who puts the ooh in shampoo?
Prel does, that's who.
Yeah, Prel puts the ooh in shampoo.
Rich formula Prel gives you a soft, gentle fragrance. Special silkeners you can feel while you shampoo. Hair that feels soft and silky after. Prel puts the ooh in shampoo. Ooh. Puts it in a special formula for dry hair, too.
Yeah, Prel puts the ooh in shampoo.
Monday, it's Boone, the story of a young man with a dream, a family and their love, and a generation of Americans whose music changed the world. Boone. Then a family reunion turns to tragedy for Albert. Will a miracle save him? Michael Landon stars in an all-new 2-hour Little House movie. Monday. Be there. It's the Mr. T and Wacky Wall Walker special Sunday night as T faces his toughest challenge.
Don't make me laugh.
That's Mr. T. Then the Wacky Wall Walkers, Sunday.
John Travolta is one of a kind. Olivia Newton-John is one of a kind.
Can you believe it?
It took a twist of fate to make them 2 of a kind.
We won't do anything you don't want to do.
Two of a Kind, rated PG. Starts Friday, December 16th at a selected theater near you.
Saturday, right after Different Strokes and Silver Spoons. It's an animal rescue when Jonathan enters a high-flying race to save Brooke's life. Then Big Bad John bucks the Big Apple baddies. When Dale Robertson and Joey Travolta star in an all-new special drama, all Saturday on NBC. Be there.
Every 10 seconds during the past year, someone, somewhere, for some mysterious reason, switched to Burger King. Switch. Who knows why? But it's added up to millions of switchers. Maybe even
You.
A father turns killer in West Philadelphia. We'll have the story on Nightcast.
Hi, Sheriff. What's good? The soup. I don't eat much soup anymore.
It's good for you. This ad says Campbell's vegetable beef soup's a real good source of vitamin A. That's important. And another thing.
What?
It tastes good.
Ma'am, I'll have a bowl of that Campbell's soup, please.
Kid.
Huh?
Eat carefully.
Yes, sir.
Campbell's soup is good for food.
clump. Leftover cat food. The part of the can that gets hard, cold, clumpy. Don't make your cat face the clump. Tear into Tenderfiddles brand cat food. And watch him tear in. Tenderfiddles is always fresh, always moist, always tender. So dump the clump. Tear into Tenderfiddles. And watch your cat tear in.
Sears has just the right gift for everyone this Christmas.
Gifts that will make everyone happy, like tabletop appliances, a wide selection 10 to 50% off. For the Gourmet Cook, a 7-speed food processor, half price at just $49.99. And for Grandma, pretty things like plush color-made towels in a variety of colors, half price at $3.49 each. Wrap up a beautiful Christmas with perfect gifts for the whole family.
Hope we're going to a New Year's Eve party. I'd prefer an office party.
I want to go to a school Christmas party.
McDonald's Chicken McNuggets 20-pack, the life of any holiday party.
How do I look?
Delicious. Golden brown is your color.
Whoopee! Let's go to a sleigh ride party. It's a good time for the great taste.
Parties. That's all you 20-packs ever think of.
McDonald's.
Time for McDonald's gift certificates. 50 cents each or book of 10 for $5.
Saturday, it's snowing on the boulevard.
All right, get ready. It's going down.
But Santa's treat is to put the cocaine connection behind bars.
It's the one Christmas present I want.
T.J. Hooker. Then, when Isaac hires his girlfriend,
A lot of people are complaining.
he could lose his job on the Love Boat.
If you're going to fire her, you have to fire me first. Okay, you're fired.
Then, can television's most unusual detective bring a lost legend back to the stage?
I'd be terrified to face an audience.
Finder of Lost Loves.
Tomorrow. The phones you lease from AT&T have to earn the name Old Reliable. We test them to make sure they're tough enough to survive almost anything you can dish out. And that's why, if there ever is trouble, AT&T will replace your leased phones free at our phone center, or just call toll-free. AT&T will worry about the hang-ups, so you won't have to. AT&T Consumer Sales and Service.
Soup is a harvest of nourishment.
How did you get so wet?
I'm not very wet.
Not very wet. Go ahead and eat your soup while it's nice and hot. It's your favorite, Campbell's tomato. You eat all that soup, and maybe you'll be okay.
When you're wet and cold and hungry, very few things are more satisfying than a hot, nourishing bowl of Campbell's tomato soup.
Mom. Do you still love me anymore?
Oh, soup is good food.
Tuesday, Jack tries to keep his hand in the dark. Aunt May, I'd like you to meet my wife.
Freeze the crowd. Then, Tony makes a date with Mona's professor.
I feel an A coming on, Mona.
I want a good grade, but don't hurt yourself.
Who's the Boss? All starting at 8, 7 Central. Tuesday.
Columbia.
I'm ugly, I don't care. You think I'm dumb, I don't care. You think I'm scum, I don't care. Bitch, I make my money. Party till I die. With my chin up high. Fuck 'em up, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Let the dollar make a work. In my street like the slaves. Bitches always kiss my feet. You will have to kill me to make me fucking stop. I was already dead again. You can't hurt me, only God. Party till I die. With my chin up high. Fuck 'em up, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Twerk, piece of scum. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Party till I die. With my chin up high. Fuck 'em up, fuck 'em back. Shake that money maker in my face. It's a favor. Ooh, I love your misbehavior.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Sunday. I don't know, man. I think she might be on Cuckchurch's label. I don't know. That's possible. That she. Some of y'all with the flames, like it's good. I don't know. I don't even know what's good rap anymore, man. I have no idea. I saw that shit and I lost it. I was like, yeah, I gotta play that. Oh man, it's gonna kill me. Oh man, people, guess who's back? Yeah, this dude, like, I don't know what, like, he just out of nowhere just decides, you know what? I haven't trolled the true crime community in a long time, so like, why? I mean, does he know? Because I saw that he posted that let me see here real quick. This was just a couple days ago, maybe. And he posted whatever happened with the Kylie Rodney situation. And then I responded with, it was ruled an accident and you were ruled an idiot. I don't know if the comment is still up, and I don't know if anybody's responded to it or not, but I haven't really checked. I should check that to see if but I mean, nobody is talking about the Kylie Rodney case anymore. Anybody at no channel that is even remotely worth a shit is still discussing that case. There's nothing to discuss. There was video evidence of her driving her car into a body of water. And it was made very, very visible thanks to Gray Hughes Investigates. So, I mean, it's just plain clear what happened to Kylie. The timestamp on it is just before the timestamp on it is right where right when her phone last pinged. So it all just makes perfect sense, and it all just adds up. And ever since that happened, anybody with common sense basically stopped talking about the case, because there's nothing left to talk about at this point. The only thing to do is to let Kylie's loved ones, her family and friends, mourn her in peace. That would be the ethical, decent thing to do. But apparently this guy who apparently has his own record label and is always dropping new joints, has nothing better to do than to continue and disrespect the memory of this poor kid who met her demise at such an early age. But we're going to go over that.
Hey, true crime community, did you miss me? I know you did. Don't even start with the, oh, God, no, oh, God, no. I'm just kidding. That's what I want you to do. And you will. Psycho Babble, what you doing? You still licking them butthole lips, you ugly motherfucker? You ever seen that dude lick his lips? He does it like 90 times a minute. Like a puppy dick having a boner and then forgetting about it, and then having a boner and forgetting about it over and over. Who knows? Maybe it feels good on his gums or something. Glare, what you been doing, you little smelly midget? How's your bird chest doing? What was that other
thing? Okay. Why does he keep calling me a midget? Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I'd be sensitive about it if I wasn't significantly taller than he is. Like, it's just, this is the true crime sleuthing skills. This is the observation skills of this young man, which I find just really funny. Yes, Ryan, sometimes we laugh with you because you can be a funny guy, but most of the time we're laughing at you.
The dude's name is Cinnamon Showtime. I clicked on him a minute ago. He still ain't washed his fucking elbows. He gonna need a sanding block by the time he gets in the shower. You gonna have to sand your kneecaps. Ugh. I see you changed your shirt since last time.
Still ain't washed them elbows.
My man out here looking like Fidel Castro's drug dealer. Hell, I figured I'd check in on y'all, since y'all are big time.
What would Fidel Castro's drug dealer look like? I don't get it.
Detectives, with y'all's expertise and stuff, I figured y'all have this figured out already. So I just wanted to see how the Kylie Rodney case thing was doing, and
it's over. It's done. The Kylie Rodney thing case. I don't know what the facts are on this case anymore. Is it still a thing?
Everyone's still looking at their camera going,
I don't know, guys. What do you think?
They're doing great jobs. They're big-time detectives, y'all. And they are going to get to the bottom of this as soon as someone else gets to the bottom of it. But anyway, I figured I'd dabble into it, kind of keep...
We got to the bottom of it. While you were doing God knows what, we got to the bottom of it. As a matter of fact, it kind of just got to the bottom of itself. Nobody got to the bottom of it. It just kind of happened to where everyone saw that she drove her car into that reservoir. Period.
Keep the engine moving with all the other people who are doing so great at going.
I don't know, guys. What do you think?
Especially Harsh Reality. He's doing fucking great. Well, he's had 4 videos in the past 2 months go. Guys, this is the last video I will talk about the Kylie Rodney stuff. And then like 2 days later, he has another one.
He's doing a great job.
Harsh Reality.
I actually agree with him about Harsh Reality. I think that guy's a total fucking idiot douche.
You sure you're not investigating yourself? You keep catching yourself in lies like every other video. Better watch out. You're gonna send yourself to jail. Man, you really shouldn't be snitching on you. Anyway, let's dabble into this Kylie Rodney case and let's see what's been popping. Brand new whip just hopped in. Oh shit, nope, that's not a good joke.
So we just got out of Best Buy after picking up some supplies here in Reno, Nevada. We're on our way to work the Kylie Rodney case.
Okay, so I guess he finally realized and heard through the grapevine that Jared's pedo ass decided to release this full interview with the most insignificant person that had anything to do with anything in this case. This person who I suspect was just put there. They made up a story and then decided, okay, well, we're just going to throw this fake ass truck driver, whatever, tow truck guy in this to say God knows what. But this is the most useless thing. Like, why Jared even decided to release this at this point after everything, and even saying, even publicly posting, hey, we had adventures with purpose, except that there was that law enforcement has deemed this an accident and blah, 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 blah. And we want to respect that. But you're not respecting it because for some reason you are still putting out this crap as though it's relevant after us all knowing that it's not fucking relevant.
Case just down the street in Truckee, California. And Nick, a longtime supporter, fan of ours, appreciate you for coming up to us, possibly has some information in regards to the Kylie Rodney case.
Well, this is already looking kind of weird. Let's just chase down AWP and take up their time 35 minutes away from where the car is going to be found to tell them some stuff that the cops should already know, right?
So why don't you explain a little bit about what you may have?
I mean, he's right.
So my name is Nick. I work at an emergency roadside assistance program. I got a call up in Truckee, Boca, for a battery call. So pretty much that means that the vehicle can't start.
Damn, really?
So I went en route up there, found the vehicle.
You went up there and found the vehicle, or you went up there and met the person that called you?
At the time, I didn't realize that this was a situation until later on, but
thought the situation was the battery was dead because, you know, you're the guy that comes to fix the battery. Terminology's a little weird.
Yeah, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
You said you went to Boca.
Yes, sir.
So over near Boca Lake?
Yes, sir.
So not Prosser Lake, Prosser Creek Lake.
It's right by Crosser Creek.
Yeah, just north. So you went to Boca.
Yes, sir.
And you said you responded to.
And he's totally leading. We went over this. I went over this video extensively. And one thing I pointed out is he's clearly leading him. He's clearly leading these questions. Like, I feel like they totally rehearsed this bullshit more or less. Just a loose little rehearsal. Like, I'm going to ask you about this, and then you're going to say this. Okay. Just remember that when I ask you this, you're going to answer with something along the lines of this, just in your own words.
In hindsight, realized it may have been this vehicle. What kind of vehicle was it that you responded to?
It was a gray, like a lightish gray Honda 4-door sedan.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or SUV, I'm sorry.
SUV?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Wonder if someone there had a little 4-door sedan.
Describe what happened.
So when I first go there,
when he first goes there, is there another time you went there? Curious. Asking for a friend.
So when I first go there, I usually do tests on the vehicle to see what's going on. At first, when I went there, I realized after my test that, you know, everything was working great on the vehicle. Come to find out later, once I approached the vehicle and went inside, that the vehicle was in neutral.
Sounds like you just fucked that up. Did you approach the vehicle and give it a test and charge the battery first, or did you look inside and be like, oh, shit, it's in neutral? Which one was first?
Time, I thought that was kind of awkward that, you know, you can find out or realize that something like that could have been the case for why the vehicle wasn't starting.
There's so many reasons why this is 150% bullshit. Because of Kylie's phone. Okay? Kylie's phone last pinged at the very same time that the video was timestamped of that car going in the water. And in that area, like, it was pinged there at that time, and that was it. That was the last of the phone signal. And then the next day, this guy's saying that he saw Kylie and implying that it was Jagger that she was with. The very next day, around 11 a.m. or noon ish, but someone called them. Someone called his tow truck company to come out and service their car, right? So whose phone did they use? Because it couldn't have been Kylie's. But so they used somebody's phone. Whose phone did they use? Did they use the person who they're implying is Jagger? Did they use his phone? Because that would have came out later. That his phone would have pinged, or he would have at least volunteered his phone records instead of them getting a warrant. You know, they wouldn't have needed to. Jaggers was super cooperative throughout this whole thing, so I'm sure he would have volunteered his phone records, and the call would have been, you know, I'm sure there was a caller ID or a number or something through this service that he works for. I mean, this is like, all of this stuff can be either verified or absolutely debunked.
Starting.
That's a pretty weird thing to say for someone who has the job that's to get people's vehicles started.
So I simply put it into park, Started up the vehicle, everything was fine. At that point in time, I did notice that like the female, which is Kylie, I realized after, she was very hesitant and very skeptical on everything that was going on.
She was skeptical of everything else going on, y'all. I thought there was just a dead battery problem. What is all this other shit you're talking about?
She was asking me really weird questions, like in the
What the
sense
fuck
of,
is he talking
how do you
about?
put on your seatbelt correctly? And
so a chick in her car that she was already driving, apparently, that just had a dead battery. Now she needs to know, how do I put my seatbelt on? Get the fuck out of here.
I'm like, okay, and she asked me to show her on how to connect it to like her actual belt. Like, okay, that in my eyes, that was very awkward. I deal with things that are kind of awkward. So I was like, all right, it's just another day on the job.
So visual wise, he's putting himself in the story as in her car or over her in her car, being like, yep, this is how you click it in.
Safety first.
No. That sounds like somebody that's worried somebody's seen something. Oh, no, I was just teaching her how to put on a seatbelt.
What?
Yep, that's what I was doing. Well, good thing that I can fix your car guy showed up there and then brainstormed with the little girl to be like, look, we did it. We got the car started.
See, this is why I say that there are certain people who just shouldn't smoke weed. And he has admitted to taking Adderall recreationally. So, yeah, this is not Ryan, dude. I don't know what I don't know what to tell you, man. But you make these videos and then you even edit them, and you edit them in this form of being so pleased with yourself to where, like, even when you're editing these things, you seem to think that you still know what you're talking about, which is really weird.
He even showed her how to put a seatbelt on, dude. Now his fingerprints are on the seatbelt, the steering wheel, the gear shifter, the door. Fuck, dude, the whole car should just be wrapped in his fingerprint.
Yeah.
What? What? Mr. Highland's Tales of History's Famous Burglars. Thank you so much. Ryan Upchurch needs some Prozac and an appointment with a 6D mag light. Wow. Okay. Thanks, man.
After that, she was stating on how she was there all night and she couldn't get her vehicle started due to the fact that now we both realized it was in neutral.
Anybody else buying this bullshit?
She was wearing a sweatshirt, so it looked like she has been there for quite a while.
I wasn't aware sweatshirts meant you just been there a long time. That's a really weird observation.
What color was the sweatshirt?
It was a gray sweatshirt.
Gray sweatshirt.
Yeah. Also, she had a guy with her.
Oh, there was another guy there? Oh, well, where the fuck was he when, she needed help learning how to fucking hook a seatbelt up? Where was the other guy when the car wouldn't start? Where's the other guy?
Well, we talked about that too. Ryan, you're really, really late, dude. You're quite late to the party, dude. We talked about that and we went over how kids that age, I mean, males at that age, they're not usually, and I would probably stress that in Northern California, they're probably a lot less mechanically inclined. It's not like, where you live and you grow up, because we live in the same state, and it's pretty common for young men to know their way around a car, but kids these days they don't. They just don't. So yeah,
the other guy when everything, where was the other guy?
Was it dark gray or light gray?
It was light gray.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, there was a guy there that was with her at time being. He was wearing a flat top ball cap facing forwards, brown hair that's sticking out just a little bit on the sides. I didn't know. I assumed that this is her boyfriend. I mean, from how they're interacting with each other.
Oh yeah, you knew they were boyfriend and girlfriend. They were like, kissing all on each other and hugging and holding hands and cutting up, and then she's like, "Yo, honey, hang on, I'm gonna go ask this guy how to fucking hook my seatbelt up real quick."
But it was kind of like they were both kind of at unease is what it looked like for me, like as if either they had a crazy night or a crazy day or there's something going on I couldn't know, and at the time I didn't realize what was going on.
Because that makes fucking sense.
So
Yeah, because why would two kids who have no idea why their car won't start and they call you out there to help them with it, why would two stranded kids feel uneasy? I mean, I would feel uneasy too if I was stranded out in the middle of nowhere.
Let me stop you right there again. When do you think that this took place? Was it before, during the day, after she disappeared?
To be honest with you, it's either right after she disappeared or right before she disappeared.
What the fuck? You don't say. Well, goddamn, that narrows it down a lot. You just named all the options there are.
But it was around noonish, like 11 o'clock in the morning when I got out to her.
Okay, so you seen her about noon, either the day before or the day after. Okay, so you either seen this girl when she was actually with her friend Kate, or you seen this girl after everyone was like, oh, fuck, where is this girl at? Which one?
Zanime, thank you so much. Can't wait for the words scrabbling.
And at that point in time, once we finished everything, she did advise that she was.
I think we got a super chat,
and that she needs to grab some things, and she was going to be heading out.
Are you the fucking boyfriend, or is the other guy the boyfriend? The fuck is she telling you personal shit? Yeah, random guy who fixed my battery. I got to run to my house and get some stuff, and I got shit to do today.
So I advised her that, hey, keep your vehicle running, and you can get home. But during that period of time, after the period, I told her that I was going to leave, and I hope you have a great day.
John Hunt, they call that an oral fixation.
I told her to keep it running for a couple of hours to obviously make sure everything's working good on the vehicle, charging system wise.
You keep your car running for fucking 3 hours just to make sure, even though I could hook up to it right now and see how charged your battery is.
At that point in time, then I left, and then a week later is when I saw at a coffee shop that she was gone, and then that brought
saw this on a flyer or something?
Yeah, I came in with my girlfriend. We went into a coffee shop, and it was a flyer, and I was just in awe. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what happened. Those tricky eyeballs of yours.
I'm like, that's the girl that I was working with.
I mean, he's not really adding anything to this except just sarcastically mocking this kid. But the truth is, that shit just doesn't make sense at all. I saw him with my girlfriend, and my eyes were playing tricks on me. I don't understand. We went into a coffee shop and we saw and then fucking dickhead Doug over here corrects him. You like a flyer, yeah, that's it.
Working with, granted, the pictures I saw, she wasn't wearing a ball cap.
It's real funny because I know another person who inserted themselves in this whole entire story that pushed the narrative of, oh no.
Yeah, you dickhead. You inserted yourself in this.
Worked at this coffee shop. You just so happened to, go here and fucking brainstorm to turn her car on. And then you're like, yep, me and my girlfriend walked in the coffee shop and was like, oh shit, there's that girl on the wall with a flyer in this coffee shop. What a coincidence.
With me, she was wearing a ball cap, and it was blue ball cap. I'm sorry about that.
Like the hat on your head. It's there. You can look.
I love these people. Carrie Orbaugh. I'm confused. Cuckchurch makes his points by sarcastically mocking that kid. Cuckchurch is good people, man. Let's be cool, please. Tell that to Zanime, who's in my chat right now, who he falsely accused of being a predator, being a conspirator to commit murder, Tell that to Ickadmel, who he accused of being a conspirator to commit murder. Tell that to all of these innocent people that this guy has dragged, that this guy has used his 3 million subscriber platform to harass people and falsely accuse them of insane lies. So don't come in here talking about he's good people. Let's be cool, guys. No, he should have been cool. He should have been cool. He still owes these people an apology, and I don't think we'll ever get it. And as long as he continues to talk about these things, and as long as he continues to insert himself, as he likes to put it, in our community where we actually care about victims and care about innocent people, well, then he's fair game. So no, we're not going to be cool, man, with Cuckchurch here.
You can look at it.
But then everything spiraled out of control.
Oh, really? Tell us about all this stuff that spiraled out of control that you know about. All this stuff that happened or spiraled out of control. Who was controlling it? Huh? Do you know who was doing that? Because it sounds like you do.
I got in contact with the detective and tried to do everything I could. And
really, was his name SF Investigates? Was that his name? You tried to contact the detective first instead of the cops, and then you're like, hey, AW.
When did he say that? At no point did he say that he tried to contact SF Investigates. What are you talking about?
WP, I'm chasing you down.
You know, a detective doesn't mean that it's a private detective. A detective means a detective. When there's a missing person, Ryan, those of us that are in the true crime community, and those of us with even the slightest bit of common sense, understand that when there's a missing person, there is a detective assigned to the case to detect where that person might be. That's the whole point. That's the whole idea. That's the process. It's step one.
Down, come here. Let me tell you this information that don't make fucking sense.
Yeah, and then I saw you guys. I was like, all right, this is awesome. Like, let me go and try to catch up to you.
For the intel.
What? You're doing a real good job of sounding like a fucking freak.
More ignorant shit in my chat. Stacy Ritchie, everyone has an opinion. Why get snarky about just Ryan's? Yo, y'all, do I only talk about Ryan? People? I mean, there's a lot of people in here right now. A lot of people listening. A lot of people watching. Is this the exclusive Ryan Upchurch Snark channel? No, it's not. I talk about anybody who does irresponsible shit on this platform and handle cases the way that this guy has handled this case, in a very, very, very irresponsible way. And it's not just him. I talk about all kinds of idiots on here that do the same thing that he's doing. Like people are like, oh my God.
That's how,
but I like his music, so I'm gonna defend him. I like his music. Dude, nobody's telling you not to like his music. Ali P, Will slams all people equally. That is damn right. Thank you so much, Ali P. The Glare talks about any and everyone that does this stuff. Exactly. I don't give a fuck if you're famous, and I don't give a fuck if you're just some idiot who screams through a bullhorn. It doesn't matter.
that's how everything that we do unfolds.
Doug's like, are you fucking listening to what this guy's saying?
Organically, when we get into town, from our viewers, locals who understand what we're doing, they contribute to what we're doing from all different.
It started with the Wells case, just a girl. You're asking, when did he first get on your radar? Does his behavior go back past the Wells case? Not past it, not before it. That's when he jumped on my radar because he did the same thing, but very briefly. He didn't last very long on it. He didn't go to the lengths that he did. And it was really funny because God forbid that I insult or call out the great Ryan Upchurch because he has fans that listen to his music. God forbid I do that, because I did this back then and everyone jumped down my throat. And it's funny, Tatted Jedi's in here right now. Thanks, buddy. Getting gas on my way to get BK. Just needed to stop by and say, boo the Glare, boo Team Upchurch. But Tatted Jedi knows, Billy knows, because I remember both me and another a mutual friend of ours, Frank, also known as Crude AF. Him and I both called out Upchurch during the Summer Wells thing, and both of us lost like a shit ton of subs over it. It was really weird. Everybody was like, "How dare you? Ryan Upchurch is such a good person." Glare, how dare you? I'm done with you, Glare. I'm done with you. And then he does this shit with the Kylie Rodney thing, and then people were like, oh, okay, now I get it. Like, I lost like 300 subs, like, from just doing the one video, calling him out and talking about how he wasn't making any sense at all. And he was outright admitting that he only gets his information off of other YouTubers. He basically still admits it. Like, even when he's talking about this, like, he doesn't bring up any news stories. He just talks about YouTube and people on YouTube. He does not in any way, shape, or form talk about any news articles or legitimate news sources. Everything is his sources for information are always YouTubers, which is ridiculous.
Like, this is massive. Do you know who placed the call to your roadside company? Was it her or the boyfriend? Or
so I can't get details. Calls don't go through me. They go.
Oh yeah. I always just look at that as house cleaning. I look at that as house cleaning. Like, if people unsubscribe from my channel for telling the truth and pointing someone out and not discriminating from one person to another simply because they happen to be famous, and just calling out people just for their behavior, not because of who they are, but simply their behavior and what they do. If they unsubscribe from me over that, this isn't the channel for you anyway. We don't kiss the asses of people just because, you know, they might have a lot of subscribers. We don't do that here.
They go through.
Yeah, you just get digitally dispatched, so you don't have.
Yes, sir.
So when you were digitally dispatched, did you call them to say you were coming, or you just showed up?
I did call and nothing went through. It went straight to voicemail. Yeah.
Do you know if she had a phone on her at the time?
She did state that her phone was dead,
and
so she used whatever guy, whoever this was, if it was her boyfriend, she used his phone. So that's how she did get in contact.
Wonder why we never heard anything about that phone, and whose phone it was. Wonder why.
You just fucked that all up, dude. She used her boyfriend's phone, but her phone was dead. So she didn't use her phone. She used someone else, some other guys, whoever that might be. Me, Nick, the tow truck driver, I'm a male. Yeah, but it wasn't me. It wasn't my phone. There was another male there.
What was, you mentioned, like, she was asking funny questions and acting weird.
So, like, the most funny question, the one that stood out that I remember is about the seatbelt. I've never about how to buckle a seatbelt. So, in granted, I at the time I didn't.
None of that made sense.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in the towing industry my whole life, so you see a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of weird stuff, and it's actually pretty normal.
Yeah.
You know, so I can see why at the time it's just.
But she kept on going over that, like, how do you like, you know, secure your seatbelt firmly and like do it correctly, and that's when I was.
I
So the
know.
boyfriend's just kind of
I
sitting
know,
there
Louis.
watching all this fucking retarded sounding shit go on. Is that what's going on? Because
When she was asking this, was the guy that she was with right there too?
He was on the opposite side of the car.
So he could hear the conversation as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and
I don't believe
if Cuckchurch was addressing me in person, he would be like this: "You fucking stinky midget! You get down here, you stinky midget!" Oh my God.
I don't believe that for a second. Because if I was in that situation, I'd be like, hey, motherfucker, you talking to me, not her. And if the woman I was with was like, oh my God, like, how do you put your seatbelt on? Will you teach me? I'd be like, the fuck are you smoking? And I'd tell the dude, hey, you lean over and click our seatbelt, see if I don't fucking cut your fingers off.
I did notice, and this is also something that I stated to the detective, that
It's got FS Investigates written all over it. Why? Because it sounds fucking stupid as shit.
What?
every single time the guy would come over to us, she would go on to the other side, and it was just like a back and forth, like a tag team. Better to say, like one person would come over, she wouldn't stay near him, and then it would go vice versa.
Oh, really? Is that how you could tell they were boyfriend and girlfriend? Was because she was fucking running from him? Sounds to me like two guys snatched her up. That's what it sounds like to me. Let's say she was by herself, right? When she was leaving this party.
Jesus Christ.
Somebody may have already been watching her before, you know.
This should be fucking great. This is the big the big theory now. Mind you, this guy's changed his theory like 10 times.
Maybe you got him, Ronnie. Whoever that is. Maybe she did leave the party alone. Maybe there was just, you know, another guy somewhere with another guy in a
What's
vehicle.
up, Steve?
Like maybe a van or something. Kind of like, you know, the utility vans y'all have for your work. Or, you know, jump starting little girls' cars. And maybe one guy got out of the van while the other guy stayed in the van and snatched her out of her car, put her in the van, left the car there, took her somewhere else, done something, come back, put her in her car, and then dumped the car right there. And then was like, oh, yeah, I seen that. I helped her do something that day or night, whenever that was.
What?
Or if we were at the front of the car going about the battery and talking about the battery, he was always on one side, she was on the other. They were never close to each other.
It's really odd behavior.
Yeah,
Like to me.
unless she didn't like who she was with, or she was uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That screams awkwardness.
So this SF Investigates guy,
Awkwardness.
pretty sure that's your detective. Why? Because who's the only other person who said something about the same exact night/day you're talking about?
He's got you, buddy. Apparently you're in cahoots with the tow truck driver, who's probably not even a tow truck driver, who never saw Kylie and is a big fan of AWP.
Talking about SF Investigates. Go look at the panel we were both on. What does he say? Oh, no, not that gas station she stopped at, the other one. How does he know? How do you know? Oh, wait, there's two guys right there. What do you know? Coincidence? Fuck no.
Do this brilliant trick for just 15 minutes per day.
Okay. Oh, man. And then what I found really, really funny, we have the classic ultimate bandwagon jumper. This poor person who just never seems to she's trying so desperately to get back to where she used to be. She's just trying so hard to get back to being who she used to be. And I had this live scheduled. I don't think that it's a coincidence that I had this live scheduled since this morning. And I even pushed it back about an hour. And it's just, it's kind of, I mean, it can't be a coincidence. Can it be a coincidence? Can it be a coincidence that canceled Karen, that canceled Karen just decided all of a sudden to start talking about Ryan Upchurch? Interesting. I mean, she had to know that I was going to fuck with her. She had to know. I mean, she's got a whole 571 views on this one, folks. And like you can tell by the way that she talks about this.
Your flock and to be easily by Jared.
This is interesting.
So I don't know how these people get such huge. No, I do know. Let me take that back. I do know. They get huge followings because people love lies.
You see, this is interesting. Kay doesn't even know that he's a musician. She doesn't even know. She thinks that he's just some guy who happens to have 3 million subs because he covers true crime. This is how clueless canceled Karen is. She actually has no idea who he is. She just saw that I was going to talk about him today and that I had this scheduled, and then decided she was going to do it because she saw all the views that I got from talking about him in the past. Yes, Kay, we know. Trust me, we know.
They love to be lied to. Now, look, I found this video entertaining.
No, they love his music. Like, the people that follow him only started looking into this case. This is what he did. He just polluted our community that much more. Our already smelly ass community as it is. And he polluted it even more by bringing his fucking cuck squad into it. And just adding more dumb people fucking with innocent people. And she has no idea. She just knows that she's calling out some guy with 3 million subs and sees an opportunity there. And that's it. It's the same thing that she did with Kendall Ray, which is why she's being sued by Ray Andriacchio currently for $10 million. And guys, as I always say, Kay doesn't have $10 million.
I have to admit, I've never watched a single thing that he did. I only heard like from the periphery, and I have that little video clip. Remember, I'm gonna put that out there again. I have that little video clip of him being duped in real time by Jared. So that's really all I've ever seen of the guy, and heard what other people have to say about him.
That's all I have ever. I've only heard what other people have to say about him, and that's all I've ever seen of the guy is him on panel with Jared. Huh.
So I get sent this video clip, and look, I've withheld judgment of this guy. I've not said a word about him, quite frankly, because he's pretty irrelevant.
No, this is what she does.
Until right now.
This is what she does. She just jumps on bandwagons. So KB86, you're saying, wait, what did she do to Kendall Ray? Well, what she did was Kendall Ray did a very, very well done little documentary where she traveled out to where Ray Andriacchio lives, where Christian Andriacchio lived, and unfortunately met his demise. Whether it was self-inflicted or whether it was a murder is the issue. Kendall Ray went out there to hear everyone's side of the story on that, and put together a documentary. Because Ray Andriacchio, Christian's mom, does not believe that he committed suicide. She believes that he was murdered. And Kendall Ray has a lot of subscribers. So what she did was she decided to try to create, so that what she wants to do is create a feud with larger creators. That's what she wants to do. She just wants to create some sort of feud with larger creators to gain some sort of clout. And it's quite obvious that this is her MO. This is just what she does. She did this with Annie from 10 to Life when with the Sophie thing. I have proof in text messages. I did a video on it. I think it was called Critical K as a Doxer or something like that. You can go back and look at my videos. It's from about a year ago, maybe a little longer. Tata Jedi, no, I have not thought about deleting my channel today. I've thought about doing this though. See, I like to put Tata Jedi in the corner once in a while. You get to sit there and think about your words for about 300 seconds. Okay. Oh, I love Billy.
Right now. So I have a reason to talk about him. He's irrelevant. He was irrelevant while Kylie was missing, and he's only relevant now because I'm going to be able to use him to make some really stellar points about how.
No. See, that's not what you're doing. What you're doing is you're using him because, first of all, he was actually very significant during the Kylie Rodney thing, simply because he has such a following, and simply because he did horrible, fucked up shit to innocent people in the process, which is the reason why I talked about him. And when he's not doing these things, I don't talk about him. I don't feel the need to talk about him. I wish him well in the music industry. I wish him well in his life. I don't hate anything about this guy. I don't dislike him personally. Now, I think that he's a piece of shit for doing what he did to Ikad Mel and Zanime, but and I think that he owes them apologies. I think that he owes Steve SF Investigates an apology, more or less. But I don't think that he's. But I don't wish any ill will on this guy or anything. I find him to be insignificant other than those things. And I think that he definitely owes Kylie's family an apology for saying that she wasn't real. Thank you, Steve, for that. Absolutely. I completely agree with you. He definitely owes Kylie's family and loved ones an apology for saying that she wasn't a real person. When you have somebody with 3 million subscribers saying that there was a conspiracy and that she was just a made up thing and not even an actual person, a 16-year-old girl who lost her life in a tragic, sad way, yeah. But he won't do these things. So since I know that he won't do these things, I enjoy just insulting him, and I enjoy going over how much of an idiot I think he is.
About how easily people are bamboozled and how easily they lead the people that follow them. Remember what I was saying about when you get behind a microphone, you are offering to be a shepherd of people. You are offering to lead a flock. You are offering to lead sheep. And when you do that, you better.
Okay. See, this is the difference right there between me and this idiot that's talking right now. Okay. Because I would never, ever, ever, I would never refer to you guys in my chat, those of you who watch my channel. I feel grateful and dumbfounded that you guys even enjoy this channel as much as you do, but mostly just grateful. Okay. I would never look at you guys as sheep and me as a shepherd. I am here simply to entertain you. I am here simply to hang out with you guys and have fun and discuss things that are important to us in this community. That is all. That is how I view our dynamic. I would never look at myself as somebody above any of you or all of you, much less. I would never, ever, ever see myself that way. And to call you, or for someone to call their audience sheep, and she's a shepherd, is fucking insulting. And then she wonders why her show got canceled. Well, it's not even a show, but she wonders why her channel got canceled and got taken off of YouTube. And she wonders why this one is barely growing. Because the growth that she's getting is thanks to me, because I'm the only one talking about her. She is completely and totally insignificant to the rest of the community. But I just enjoy making fun of her because she's completely and totally clueless and the most egotistical person that I've ever seen. So I find her to be fun to talk about.
You better be really careful that you're not easily duped, because if you're easily duped and bamboozled, you will lead your flock into be easily duped and bamboozled. And that's reckless. When you offer to be a shepherd, you're basically saying, look, I'm the smart one. I'm smarter than all of you. So you should listen to me because I'm smart.
Okay. So this is why there's a difference. There's a clear difference when it comes to her. She is basically, because when you're a person like she is and you put out content, the kind of content that she does, you are either a fucking ignorant asshole, like an ignorant moron, or you're an absolute piece of shit who's perfectly aware of their own actions and how their actions may affect others. She is absolutely the latter, because she's admitting to it right now. She's saying that when you have this platform, when you have a large platform like she used to have and no longer does, but when you have this large platform, you are responsible for the things coming out of your mouth. And what she did while she had this very large platform, while she had this very large channel, what she did at the time was she had thousands of people believing that a 10-year-old girl who at the time when she was 9 cried for help because she was being assaulted, allegedly, by her mother and her mother's boyfriend. Now, this was what I would say about her. At the time, I would say she was very dangerous. She's still dangerous, but not nearly the danger that she used to be, because nobody knows or gives a fuck about her anymore. But, well said, Grandmaster Sid Sophos. Thank you, buddy. Galera says, stand beside me, not behind me. Absolutely. Very well put. Thank you, buddy. Because the way that I looked at it with the Sophie thing that was going on at the time, because this made a lot of people angry. A lot of people were angry for Sophie, and a lot of people were angry at her father. She spun the narrative of making everyone mad at her father. And she's the one that created that and spun that. And it was simply because I told her in a text message that I was on panel with Annie from 10 to Life, and there was 11,000 people in her chat. And in the same conversation, in that very same text thread, she was like, I would never touch that case. I heard about it and I would never touch that case. There's no way I would insert myself in that. And then when I mentioned 11,000 subs, she had already started talking about something else. And then I said, she goes 11K with a question mark. Next thing you know, she goes live the next day. I'm on her panel and she brings it up and goes totally the opposite way to create controversy. and capitalize off of the controversy, right? And so what she wanted to do was see if she could start some sort of feud with Annie from 10 to Life. Of course, Annie from 10 to Life is never going to engage in something like that. But that was her goal. That was her motivation. That was what she was trying to do. And just Annie never fed into it. Now, I did, because y'all know I like to get muddy. But I ended up it grew into this very ugly thing, and she ended up doxing a bunch of people, including me. She was just very, very disgusting behavior. And she made a whole lot of money. And what she's talking about right now, she's basically admitting to what she was doing, because she was there calling a child a victim, an alleged victim of sexual assault, a liar, and a brat. And she did this repeatedly. She did this a lot. And yeah, that's what she does, Red Raven Spirit. She likes to dox people. That's what she does. If she can't, outwit you, she'll dox you. If you point out the person that she is and corner her with the reality of the person that she actually is, she will do the typical shit that somebody will do in this community when they have nothing, and their foundation, their base is dishonesty and deceit. They will dox you once it's proven and shown, and a mirror is put in front of them. They will dox you. And she's absolutely that type. And so what I used to say is she was very dangerous. She had thousands and thousands of people that would listen to her. And I can only imagine how many of them were in a position of authority over children in some way, shape, or form, whether they be teachers, whether they be counselors, whether they be coaches, whether they be any of these things, where they could be in a position to where a child could potentially come up to them and ask them for help and confide in them. And then those people's first instinct is to ask themselves if this child is a liar, instead of actually assuming that the child is telling the truth and having the instinct to want to help them. And I'm not saying to go after somebody with no proof. I'm saying, obviously, you look into it and you do it with an open mind, and you do it with the heart set of wanting to help the child. And so, yes, you believe the child. You do not dismiss them for a liar, because if you do that, then what you're looking for is a way to discredit that child. You're not coming from a place of helping them. You're coming from a place of discrediting them. You're looking at yourself as a victim of this child who's using you to get attention in some way, shape, or form, and falsely accusing somebody. And that's dangerous, because if there are people who are working with children, then what they should be doing is having the instinct of always protecting them. When that child is in your care, that child it's your responsibility. That child is your responsibility. Period. It's not right that you would assume right off the bat that this child is a liar and just being a brat. And so here she is basically admitting that that's what she was doing, and doing it for the sake of being shitty. She wasn't doing it ignorantly. She wasn't doing it without knowing, because here she is explaining that when you have a large platform, well, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to lead people. That's what she's saying.
It's not enough to just be entertaining. You need to have a brain too. So he makes a very crucial point for me, and I promise I will keep this video brief. But before I
She
give
doesn't
my
keep it brief.
statements,
We're not going to
let's
go over the
kind
whole
of
thing.
scrub through and go to some of the most crucial points, just in case you ain't seen this yet. So let's have a list.
Yeah, she's going to keep it brief, but it's 3 hours long.
Wait, let's dabble into this Kylie Rodney case and let's see what's been popping. Brand new whip just hopped in. Oh shit, no, that's not a good joke.
So we just got out of Best Buy after picking up some supplies here in Reno, Nevada. We're on our way to work the Kylie Rodney case just down the street in Truckee, California. And Nick, a longtime supporter, fan of ours, appreciate you
It always
coming
makes me
up
laugh.
to us, possibly has some information in regards to the Kylie Rodney case.
Well, this is already looking kind of weird. You know, let's just chase down AWP and take up their time 35 minutes away from where the car is going to be found to tell them some stuff that the cops should already know, right?
So why don't you explain a little bit about what you may have run into?
So my name is Nick. I work at the Emergency Roadside Assistance Program. I got a call up in Truckee, Boca, for a battery call.
Okay, first of all of them, Nick hasn't said anything yet. He's just standing there like yuck mouth. But Doug and this guy, Nick G, they're not winning any Emmys. That's what I'll say. Their acting skills are horrid, wretched. So, even from the word go, from day one, I don't know how so many people fell for this. Their acting skills are just absolutely ludicrously bad. Like, if you're someone who watched this.
Well, the thing about that, Karen, is people fell for this because they were actually the ones that found Kylie. I mean, there's no taking away that fact. That right there is a hell of a badge of credibility right there. That is a hell of a badge of credibility right there. Her and I actually agree on our opinions of Adventures with Purpose. This is one of the few times that her and I actually agree, but it's interesting. But I won't get into that. But oh, sorry, I was distracted by something in the chat here. But the fact that we agree on this stuff is irrelevant, because the thing is she's doing it. Our reasons for agreeing on this are very, very different. My reasons for doing it is not to go against the grain. It's not to be oppositional in any way, shape, or form. The reason why I say these things about Adventures with Purpose is because I observe that their motives are financially driven. Jared's motives are financially driven. They don't care about finding victims. They care about finding victims and getting the hero aspect out of it so that they can capitalize off of that. And in the process of doing so, with this portion of their video where they found Kylie, this portion of that video is what was the most irresponsible thing that was done by almost any YouTuber ever, which was basically them implying that Jagger was with Kylie the next day, was the last person to be seen with Kylie, which was just plain not true. And they never said it was Jagger, because Jared knows that he knows well enough to avoid litigation. He wanted to create a dramatic effect to get more views and to gain more subscribers and to get more donations. He wanted to create a dramatic effect. And in doing so, he victimized Jagger, which was not okay. That's why I called them out. Kay's just trying to make a name for herself. She's going after Ryan here because Ryan has 3 million subs, even though she doesn't know anything about him. She just admitted. And she's titled the thing, "Ryan, you're a little late." And of course, after I had this live scheduled all day long with the same thumbnail, same title that I have here. So I just don't believe that to be a coincidence. But she doesn't, this is just clout chasing K, the usual clout chasing K. She is so desperate for significance. And she's trying to really get that Cash App money so she can get a lawyer for her $10 million lawsuit. But no lawyer is going to be able to help her at this point because she's already not showing up to court. Her strategic defense against this lawsuit when she gets a subpoena to show up to court in Mississippi is no, la 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 la, you're harassing me, la 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 la. No, if I just wish you away, you're just gonna go away and not sue me. That's her basic strategy for her defense. So that's where she's at.
Watch this in real time. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are. And there's a lot of you out there that are never going to hear this audio. And that's a shame. You're never going to hear my show. And that's a real shame. You should
don't have a show.
More people should. But I know there's a lot of people out there that were watching this in real time that were believing it. It didn't even occur to them to be skeptical. It didn't even occur to them to, including Ryan Upchurch.
She's not.
A little late.
That's the whole
a little
thing.
Late to the party.
Kelsey 206. That's the whole thing, is she's not going to Mississippi. Every time she's been subpoenaed and there's been a court date, she's refused to go. She hasn't shown up to court. And if I understand the latest in her lawsuit, she's already ordered to pay the attorney the attorney's expenses for having to travel out there for nothing because she never showed up. She's already having that added on to her lawsuit on top of everything else, on top of the $10 million, which I think turns out to be something around $40,000. So now she's ordered to pay another $40,000, which is really funny.
Because I can tell you, when he watched this, he fell for it. Like a lot of people. And to me, that's very alarming that there are so many people that are so easily fooled.
Well,
and
that's
have the wool.
That's your
right
audience. That is your audience, Karen. That is absolutely your audience. You are describing you and your audience. That is what you're describing. Is you just spewing out a whole bunch of bullshit and saying critical thinking, and calling yourself the queen, and having a bunch of idiots follow you and allow themselves to be insulted, and you basically gaslight them into believing that they're stupid and you're smarter than all of them, and that's how you built your audience. I was there. I watched it happen. I saw it.
There's a reason that slogan, that saying exists. Wool, sheep. All right, let's keep watching.
So pretty much that means that the vehicle can't start.
Damn, really?
I'm really glad she's not on camera too.
So
okay, so Ryan, where were you when this was first put out? I mean, you were a little late, pal.
No.
Why didn't you put this video out back then? Because you're sitting there acting like, well, I could just see right through these girls. They're so easy to see through. Well, why didn't you see through them when this video came out in September? We're 3 months on. I mean, what, you just work in slow motion? You didn't recognize that this was a pack of bullshit from the moment you saw it? No, you didn't. You didn't. And I have proof you didn't.
It's like
en route up
she's
there.
just trying to be me now. It's so sad. It's so sad.
Found the vehicle.
You went up there and found the vehicle, or you went up there and met the person that called you?
At the time, I didn't realize that this was a situation until later on, but
Thought the situation was the battery was dead because, you know, you're the guy that comes to fix the battery. Terminology's a little weird.
Again, where Ryan, didn't this stuff stand out to you back then? Because I don't recall you doing this 3 months ago.
That's because you weren't paying attention. You were still too busy talking about the Watts case, fucking 4 years after the fact. The fact is what happened. This dude, when Kylie's car went in that water, this dude went off the radar completely. He was like, I'm just going to focus on my music. All right. And I'm just going to go back to living my awesome life. And y'all in your true crime community, y'all can kiss my ass because I'm just going to go back to making music and doing what I do and living my awesome life. That's what he did. And then he just shows up here. So he was basically consciously ignoring this community for a few months. That's what he was doing. Now, if you even knew, because I find this really funny to me, because here she is, pot meet kettle, and she's talking about this dude like as if she knows what she's talking about, even though she already admitted that she doesn't know anything about this dude or followed anything about what he was doing. Yet she's picking on him, and she's she's calling him out because she is looking for that feud with somebody with 3 million subs. And that's literally the only reason she's interested. Because here she is doing the exact same thing that she's accusing him of, which is really funny. It's incredibly interesting to me that she is talking about, people being duped, but here she is trying to dupe everybody else when we all know that she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about when it comes to, I don't remember seeing you doing this, and I don't remember seeing you doing that. That's because you were not paying attention. You were not paying attention. You were talking about something that you don't know anything about. And the only reason you're doing it is because you are clearly clout chasing. This is all of the factors of clout chasing that you are displaying right now. You're not displaying any critical thinking at all whatsoever. And this is what you tell everybody that you're doing. Well, critical thinking, but you're not thinking critically right now. What you're doing is clearly clout chasing. Like you didn't even know this dude is a musician.
I think I would have heard about that because 3 months ago, I remember being alone.
I think I would have heard about it. Not, I was following this case and I was following everybody that was talking about it. But none of that. It was, I think somebody might have told me about it if that happened. So she's admitting right now that she does not have any frame of reference here, that she does not know what she's talking about. She's literally admitting that she does not know what she's talking about by saying, I don't know. I think I might have heard something about it.
Alone. I remember being all by myself in my willingness to try to shepherd people to see what Adventures with Purpose, specifically Jared, and this roadside Nick were trying to swindle people and bamboozle people into trying to manipulate people into seeing
because what you were doing at the time, instead of actually paying attention to the details of the case and trying to educate your audience on the details of the case, you were trying to put on a show and create a feud between you and Jared. Jared being a very large YouTuber, because that's your MO. You were too busy trying to create a YouTube feud with a larger creator. And this larger creator was not on your radar because you were too busy focused on Jared.
Case in a certain way. That is what Adventures with Purpose's interview, Doug and Nick's interview with this guy, that is what the goal was, to get as many people as possible to see the case in terms of foul play or some nefarious, someone shoved her in a trunk.
Foul play, like it's a fucking bird.
And pushed it in the water. That was the agenda. That was the goal. That's what they were trying to get people to see the case.
And so was he. And if you knew anything of what you were talking about, and if you actually like, if you weren't driven by the fact that, oh shit, Glairer got a lot of views talking about this dude, well, then you would have done your homework on him instead of just focusing on how many views you might get by dropping his name. You would have actually done some homework on him and known that he did way worse than what AWP did. This guy said Kylie Rodney wasn't a real person. This guy accused other YouTubers of conspiring to murder Kylie and spinning the same narrative that AWP spun, except he was outright accusing people. But you missed that train. Like, you were sitting there too focused on picking on AWP, and this dude just walked right by you. That opportunity, this dude who actually does drop names, who actually does acknowledge YouTubers that he doesn't like. You missed that train. You think this dude's going to give a fuck about you now? He might. He might. I wouldn't put it past him. But I mean, it's painfully obvious that that's what you're seeking here. That's what you're after. It's painfully obvious that what you're after here is to get a mention in one of his videos. It's pathetic.
And a lot of people did. A lot of people fell for it. And they fell for it based in whole, or at least in part, on this interview with this Nick guy. And I don't remember, maybe I'm wrong, okay? But I don't remember 3 months ago any other creator coming out and saying, no, it's not passing the smell test. He's lying. His story's not matching the smell test. See, all of these reactions that Ryan has in this video, I had 3 months ago. Why didn't he have them 3 months ago? Why is he just having them now? Let's continue.
Why are you just now hearing about him now?
You said you went to
Why are you just now hearing about Ryan now?
Prosser Creek Lake.
It's right by Crosser Creek.
Yeah, just north. So you went to both of them.
Yes, sir.
And you said you responded to a vehicle, and you in hindsight realized it may have been this vehicle. What kind of vehicle was it that you responded to?
It was a gray, like a lightish gray Honda 4-door sedan.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Or SUV, I'm sorry.
SUV?
Yes, sir.
Wonder if someone there had a little 4-door.
And what did he do? Did he put chew? Does he got tobacco in his mouth?
He always does that. Now, if you knew what the fuck you were talking about, you would know that, Kay.
Describe what happened.
So when I first go there,
when he first goes there, is there another time you went there? Curious.
See, this is where he tries to go. Okay. And I'm just issuing another warning to the YouTube streets. This Ryan Upchurch is going to now try to take the angle that Nick G was involved in Kylie's murder.
Asking for a friend.
So when I first go there, I usually do tests on the vehicle to see what's going on.
Like, it's so funny how, like, can you all see the irony here? Like, the irony here is fucking hilarious. I'm a big fan of irony, folks. I am a massive fan of irony, because here she is, and she titled this video, Ryan Upchurch, you're a little late to the party. Kay, you're late as fuck to the Ryan Upchurch party. Like, here you are targeting this dude, and you still haven't even bothered to do any research on him at all. You haven't watched any of his other videos. You haven't seen yet, and he hasn't taken none of them down. This dude hasn't. I find this dude's brazen. Like, this dude is so fucking brazen. It's crazy, because all of those crazy fucking videos where he's falsely accusing people of shit are still up on his channel. He never took them down. Like, he never took them down. He keeps them all up. Like, I could go through all of the same videos that I've gone over since the Kylie Rodney thing started right now. Absolutely. Which is really funny. And so somebody who is such a critical thinker, and she's going after this dude, but she hasn't done one lick of research on this guy at all. The extent of her research is shining right now, which is that she saw that I had this live scheduled since this morning, and then decided to look at the video that he put up and try to beat me to it and do it first, which is just, nobody cares. Because I've consistently had more people in my chat this entire live stream than you have total views on that video that I'm going over right now.
At first, when I went there, I realized after my test that, everything was working great on the vehicle. Come to find out later, once I approached the vehicle and went inside, that the vehicle was in neutral.
Sounds like you just fucked that up. Did you approach the vehicle and give it a test and charge the battery first, or did you look inside and be like, oh, shit, it's in neutral? Which one was first?
Time, I thought that was kind of awkward that, you can find out or realize that.
Look at Doug. Hang on, let me back that up. Oh my God, that was priceless.
Find out. Or...
Look at Doug. I wish I had makeup on. I'd turn my camera on and put my Doug beard. Like I said, Doug, you ain't.
Dude, the thing is Ryan edited, like, yeah, Doug did that, but Ryan purposely edited that in there. Like, nobody has flip-flopped in the Kylie Rodney case more than Ryan Upchurch. Nobody has. There's nobody that's flip-flopped more. Like, if you knew anything about what you're talking about, Kay, then you would know that. You would absolutely know that.
You ain't winning any Emmys, okay? I'd start looking for another career, because acting ain't it.
Realize that something like that could have been the case for why the vehicle wasn't starting.
That's a pretty weird thing to say for someone who has the job that's to get people's vehicles started.
So I simply put it into park, started up the vehicle, everything was fine. At that point in time, I did notice that, like, the female, which is Kylie, I realized after.
The female, which is Kylie.
She was very hesitant and very skeptical on everything that was going on.
She was skeptical of everything else going on, y'all. I thought there was just a dead battery problem. What is all this other shit you're talking about?
She was asking me really weird questions.
I agree with
in
him
the
there.
sense
Like,
of,
what?
How do you put on your seatbelt correctly? And
so a chick in her car that she was already driving, apparently, it just had a dead battery. Now she needs to know, how do I put my seatbelt on? Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, Mr. Tobacco, you get the fuck out of here. Where were you 3 months ago when this was first?
Where were you 3 months ago when this dude was fucking covering this shit and jumping on every single fucking panel known to man, every open panel known to man in this community talking about this case, spewing out insane theories? Where were you?
First, I mean, Why did it take you 3 months to catch on?
Why did it take you
Right.
3 months
I'm
to
just really
catch on?
curious. And I wonder if he'll even respond to that. Why did it take you 3 months? Why were you believing this 3 months ago? Because remember, Jared made the rounds. And let's pause this for a moment and go over to our video. Jared made the rounds like with the week, like, you know, like a movie star would do, like make the red carpet after their movie comes out.
Like,
After
tell us all that I'm living rent free in your head, Kay, without telling us all that I'm living rent free in your fucking head.
Jared put this fine
We
as
don't,
a winning,
but we don't
production
mention the G word on this channel.
out. He went and made the rounds on all the YouTube channels with all the big people with their big brains, right? Zav Girl and you, Ryan Upchurch, right? Let's remind people about that.
But you don't know
It's a
anything
funny
about this
thing
dude.
when you try to lie. And when I get this started, we're going to zoom Ryan's face.
As far as who the male may be, I'm going to say that it was a positive match.
Yeah.
Without saying.
Wow. Oh my God.
You say male?
There's a blatant lie coming from Jared right there. A blatant lie. Like a straight up fucking lie. Saying that the male was identified. You know how I know that's a fucking lie? Because that wasn't Kylie that they saw, that this Nick dipshit tow truck driver guy allegedly saw, because Kylie's car went into the water at the same time that her phone last pinged in the place that we saw her car go in the water.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Oh. Oh. Don't let this guy try to tell you that he had it all figured out all along. That he knew that the interview that Beard and Baldy did with Nick Giovanni was legit. Don't let him even try to tell you that he watched that interview and knew something was sus. Because if he knew something was sus, he should have said something 3 months ago.
Mo,
when Jared here was running the red carpet.
I got to tell you here. He's burning, but I wouldn't even call them bridges. Like, you got to remember, these people all think on levels of somebody's subscriber count as to their credibility as a person, as a creator, which in some cases is valid, but not in his case, because he got all of his subscriber counts from music, from his music. Now he just decided to jump into the true crime community. He just decided to insert himself in that. So it's not that he's burning all his bridges. He doesn't give a shit. These are all people that crawled up his ass because they thought that their channels would grow by having him allied with them. That's the level of thinking that these people think on. I'm incapable of that. It's just not in my fucking DNA. But this is what this dude did. This is what this dude did. Was he jumped on people's panels because they were spewing insane theories and pointing fingers at people. And since he can relate to that, he was jumping on their panels and being like, look, I got it figured out, y'all. I got it figured out. I solved it, which is just pure bullshit. That's why Zav Girl had him on there, because she's an opportunist piece of shit. That's why every other person that opened their panel and tagged him was hoping for him to jump on their panel and up their views.
Carpet and going on channels that he knew were obsessively covering Kylie and that would be welcoming to his lies, to his con, to his deceit, to his schnookering of the true crime community observers. Jared made sure to find people who would be complicit. He didn't run the red carpet on channels that would call him out. Because guess what? There were no channels except me
No.
that were calling him out.
Wrong.
And so now all of these people.
Wrong. Again. Wrong. Because everyone here knows it. Because I lost subs too at first. But then, they all magically came back after this dude turned out to be a child raping shitbag. But I was calling this dude out. And although I don't open my panel, anybody who I criticize, anyone who I talk about on this channel is welcome to join me up here and they can confront me. Any one of them. Doesn't matter who they are. Kay can even come up here. Any one of them can come up here. Anyone who I call out. Bullshit Strangler Betty, Jonathan Lee Riches, Dolly, Ryan Upchurch, Jared, Nick, Doug, any of those guys. I'm perfectly willing to have them up here. But they won't come up here because they know I speak the truth. And the truth hurts. Truth hurts way too much. Now, Wipey Boy did come up here, and he just made himself look really stupid. But, that was expected. You know what I mean? I didn't even have to do anything. Like, he made himself look so stupid that people were like, you were too hard on him. And I was like, I didn't even say anything. I just let the guy fucking talk. What are you talking about? I didn't even say nothing to the guy. You were too hard on him. What?
Ryan Upchurch including, are going to try to whitewash their own stupidity and their own gullibility. But his face says it all. Whoa. Let's back it up.
Yeah, no, he was totally he was totally up Adventures with Purpose's ass when all this was going on. He was totally up their ass. Because the thing is like I said, being the ones that actually found Kylie Rodney, being the ones that actually found her car and found her body, that is a hell of a badge of credibility to have, which puts them in a position to where they can say and spin any narrative they want, because people are going to be like, they're heroes. How dare you talk about them? They're heroes. Glare, how dare you? It's just funny.
Oh, he's having that reaction because he fell for the interview. He's just now having a delayed reaction because for whatever reason, Jared Lasek is determined to prove that he lied back then. He's determined to prove it for some bizarre reason. He's digging down on the Nick G story and wants you to believe that that Nick G's story was accurate because he works for AAA that doesn't claim him. And AAA and the Nevada County Sheriff's Office and Washoe and the FBI and all these law enforcement agencies just all got together and destroyed Nick's dash cam footage of this very bizarre stop that Ryan Upchurch now realizes.
What dash cam footage? That's the thing, is we never heard any results of the dash cam footage. Like we don't even know if the FBI saw any dash cam footage. We don't even know if he was actually out there. But I guarantee you, if there is dash cam footage, it sure as fuck wasn't Kylie that he saw that day. Guaranteed.
Is bizarre and full of holes and lie. He didn't back then, but he does now. And again, this man has 3 million followers, 3 million people. He's acting as though he's a shepherd. He's acting as though he's the big brain.
Yeah, he's been doing that.
I'm going to lead you all. I'm going to come on, I'm going to turn the camera on, and I'm going to act like a big shot, and I'm going to act like I'll see through all this, but he has an agenda. His agenda.
I love, listen carefully, folks, because Kay right now is absolutely describing herself.
Now is to make Nick. It's interesting how liars cannibalize one another. Because I'm wondering at this point.
You mean like you and Jay is for justice? You mean
Ryan
like you two?
Hasn't had some kind of communication with Jared. And Jared is trying to save face. And now that it's absolutely, completely and utterly disproven that the roadside stop ever happened, Jared sees no way out other than to claim, well, this guy, he just came up to us. He just came up to Doug outside of Best Buy and said that he did a roadside stop. And it was kind of, he lied to us. So now I'm looking at him as though he might be involved in Kylie's, quote, murder. They're going to double down on she was murdered, and they're going to start blaming Nick G. You watch. Liars do this. When they all get together and weave
you would know
a web of deceit, and that web of deceit begins to disintegrate and fall apart, liars begin to turn on one another and cannibalize one another.
Interesting how that happens, because this is what happens with everyone that Kay ever befriends on YouTube. She lives in her own little world. The thing about Kay is she got massive. She had a huge following because she talked about the Watts case to death. And she would insult Shanann Watts or Shanann Rushek as much as she possibly could. She would just constantly just be that controversial. She was just trying to basically be the shock jock of true crime. That was all her. That's just her MO. And then what ended up happening was all of those people followed her along with the other controversial shit that she would talk about. But then when she lost her channel, she lost all of her support too. Like all of her support. There's a reason for that. The reason for that is because she attracts, again, your every creator, as I always say, a creator's audience is a reflection of that creator. Because everybody who faithfully followed her and would jump into her chat, and she'd have 1,000 people in her chat while she was talking, she starts another channel, and word got around that she has another channel. Everybody knows that she has another channel. Hell, Nick Rekieta, who has, I don't even know how many subscribers. Fucking, it's up there. It's a lot. He's even called her out by name. It's out there. People know. The problem is that they just don't fucking care anymore. they're just as wishy-washy as she is. She doesn't have an audience anymore because she attracted a wishy-washy audience. And I've always said, since I started this channel, I want a quality of subscriber. I'm not focused on the quantity. I want people in this chat who I can be entertained by, that I'm getting just as much from you guys as you guys are getting from me. That's the kind of chat. That's the kind of audience that I want. I want a chat that I can relate to and interact with. That's what's important to me. Not people that I can lead. Like, I'm not trying to lead anybody. It's ridiculous. You know, I mean, so when she lost her channel, people were just like, fuck her. I mean, and that's why she has, you know, 571 views on this. Here, let me refresh. Here, I'll be fair. Refresh that.
Down on she was murdered.
692
start blaming
views.
Nick G. You watch.
690 views total.
When they all get together and weave a web of deceit, and that web of deceit begins to disintegrate and fall apart.
And that amount of people is only because she tagged Ryan Upchurch. That is it. That is it. She is completely and totally insignificant now.
Begin to turn on one another and cannibalize one another. I'm telling you. And you can like dismiss me, and you can think that Ryan Upchurch is just smarter than me, and you can think that Jared is just smarter than me, just like you thought Michael Long was smarter than me. You can dismiss me. You can call me a horrible person.
Michael Long is smarter than you.
You can get angry with me for this, but it doesn't change facts. It doesn't change that I have a track record of being right.
No, you don't.
I have a track record of reading these situations for exactly what they are.
No, you have a track record of plagiarizing.
And these guys have a track record for either being stupid or liars. Take your pick. It can't be both. Well, I guess it can be both.
Yeah, because you're both.
But they're
of those
either
things.
stupid and easily bamboozled, or they're purposely lying. In Ryan's case, I'm willing to bet he's just stupid and easily bamboozled, because it's easy to call people out on their lies when they've already been proven liars, right? It's easy to get behind the microphone and say, well, this guy is a liar. He lied, when it's already been proven that he's a liar. See,
Yeah.
Nick G and Jay.
Yeah. All of those people that weren't watching you when you were saying that Jared was a liar, they were watching me say that Jared was a liar. Karen, just for the record.
Jared are in a corner. They have nowhere to go now. They're like trapped animals. And Jared is not stupid, in my opinion. It's very high IQ. So he has some agenda that he's working to get himself out of that corner. Do you get what I'm saying? All right, let's watch Ryan's face again. Let's start it from the beginning.
As far as who the male may be.
And what he's talking about is the male in that Nick G reference was with Kylie.
I'm going to say that it was a positive.
Heather Logan, why did she lose her channel? Take your pick. Take your pick of the countless ways that she violated terms of service, between doxing people, between defaming people, between slandering people. Just take your pick. She's the poster child for misuse of a platform And here she is talking about someone misusing their platform, which I find hilarious.
Match.
And it's a positive match to Jagger.
Yeah. Without saying.
Look at Zav Girl. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God.
Wow. Oh my God. And Ryan, just say me.
Like she's basically copying a live stream that I did months ago when this video came out.
And
monologue.
Yeah.
Monologue is definitely her favorite word.
Oh.
Guys, I'm a writer and I'm writing my monologue. I'm writing my monologue because I'm a writer and I'm a gamer. I'm smart. I'm smarter than everybody. I'm smarter than the whole world. I'm a writer. Monologue. Oh my God, bro. Karen, you suck. Fucking awful. Diggs, you're super late because I'm about to wrap this shit up. Yeah, she's just dumb. Nick Requena kills me, man. He has that one video up. I went over that before. Yeah, she's a cunt. Oh my God, it should just made me laugh. Yeah, that's exactly what she's doing. And it's just a matter of time. Like she can't be monetized. You know, what's really funny is like she could probably put the channel like in her husband's name, but I don't think that she trusts her husband enough. But yeah, I am feeling better, Diggs. Thank you. I because I mean, but she's just not monetized. Like she drops that Cash App and Venmo like fucking hotcakes, bro. But she, yeah, she can't, yeah, she can't collect super chats. She can't have ad revenue, nothing. Because she knows it's gonna bring heat on her. Like once YouTube gets wind of her, like I don't know why she's trying to be so loud. Because as soon as YouTube gets wind of her that she has another channel, she's just gonna get shut down again. And she's gonna have to start from scratch all over again. I do feel a little better. Thank you. I still got the cough. Like you guys notice, I keep coughing every time I laugh. But see, every time I laugh. Cannibalize. All of these people cannibalize each other. That's what liars do. Like, you mean like every mod? Like, I think Kath is like the only mod that she has left because Kath just doesn't have her own brain. And she just likes to be totally submissive to Kay altogether. Yeah, now they're sheep. They're not peasants, but they're sheep, and she's a shepherd. Okay. But anyways, guys, on that note, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you guys for all your support and everything. I love you guys very much. We will do this again very soon, my friends.